Afternoon to you, and thank you for staying logged on to amplifiedradio.net, your Pan-African talk and music online radio station where your voice makes a difference. My name is Okachi Chukwu. Time check is 4 minutes past the hour of 1 o'clock West African time, and it's time now for Say No Campaign radio program. Say No Campaign is a coalition of civil society groups who are committed to the fight against corruption, impunity, electoral violence, and all other vices. And on this show, we like to look at all of these issues and governance challenges and profile solutions to them. And today we are going to be dealing with one issue that has plagued Nigeria. Not just Nigeria, is an issue that is not entirely new to us. It is a problem that is plaguing, all other countries of the world, but it seems like it's something that it's very peculiar to Nigeria. Now, what am I talking about? I am talking about corruption. It's become almost a cliche because, Nigeria's president, Muhammadu Buhari, ran and won an election on that premise. He promised to stamp out corruption and make it non-existent. In fact, while he was embarking on a campaign in 2015, he said something very profound. He said that Nigeria has to kill corruption, otherwise corruption will kill Nigeria. Now the question is, for as long as I can remember, I know that I wasn't even born then, but I know that when he was a military head of state, he had a war against indiscipline and corruption at the time, but we were not successful in tackling and completely phasing out corruption. And in that time, successive governments have tried to look at what they can do to stamp out corruption, but it has not exactly worked. And we're back with President Buhari and his anti-corruption campaign. Now, 2 years in, how has that fared? Is he making progress? Is he not making progress? Where are we on that? What are the mechanisms we can use to track and even rate him? Nigerians are pretty much divided on this issue. Some people think there is really nothing like the fight against corruption, that the status quo remains unchanged. Some others think that we are making some sort of progress. Now this afternoon I have with me here Mr. Oluajo Babatunde, who is a development practitioner with about 2 decades experience working on governance issues. His programmatic and management experience spans local and international NGOs working in project management, designing, managing, and implementing programs and activities in the areas of governance and democracy, civic education, human rights monitoring and documentation, corruption risk assessment, gender advocacy, training materials development, facilitation, and research. Babatunde, in the course of his career, has engaged with policymakers at local, national, and international levels. He is a fellow of the Marquette University Les Espin Center for Governance. I hope I pronounced that well, Washington, D.C. He's also a Chevening Scholar. Now, seeing Chevening Scholar, I applied for Chevening, I didn't get in, so my heart is still broken. Well, Mr. Babatunde, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. And as for the Chevening, don't worry, you just cannot give up.
All right.
Don't give up.
I needed to hear that. Thank you so much. I mean, a very intimidating CV you've got there, and it's good to know that you've got quite the experience that we're looking at, and you're in a better position to look at this issue with us. So I think the first place to start would be definition. My father always says that life begins at definition. We had former President Goodluck Jonathan tell Nigerians that stealing is not corruption, right? So with that definition, he coming up to tell us, okay, yeah, there's something called corruption, but stealing is not one of them. We started having all these debates, media engagement. The media actually went agog, people trying to find out really what corruption is, because if you cannot define a thing, how do you even know how to deal with it? So I would want to know, what does corruption mean to you?
Well, corruption is the abuse of entrusted power for personal gain. I mean, you are put in an office, either public office or private office. You are supposed to, you have certain powers that you are supposed to use to either allocate resources or use to develop policies, and then you turn around to use that power for your personal gain. That is corruption. So it therefore means that if I'm giving 15 naira, for example, to use to provide service, for a target group or for society, and I turn around using 14 naira for myself, that is corruption. So that's a dichotomy that the former president was trying to create. For me, is actually artificial, and for me, it is most an unfortunate dichotomy. Because in the real sense, that dichotomy does not exist. Corruption is using entrusted power for personal gain, and that includes stealing money that you are giving to provide service for community, for society. So if you're a president and you are supposed to manage resources on our behalf, and then you use it for a personal gain, which most often than not will involve, stealing money, stealing public resources, that's corruption. So it is an artificial creation that does not exist in reality. And for me, that was one of the most unfortunate statements any president will make. For a president, it's more or less like an endorsement of looting, public looting. He even made a more embarrassing one that saying you cannot tie goats to a yam and expect a goat not to eat yam. So who is the goat and who is the yam? So that means those among him and those he elected into government who are stealing, who are engaged in corruption, they were goats. And what you do to goats was what Nigerians did to them, which is to kick them out of power. Nobody has a house and you allow a stray goat come into your kitchen and start to eat what you have in your kitchen. So for me, that dichotomy was nonsensical. It's more or less an endorsement of public looting.
Okay. I think that's a very emotional and quite heated way of putting it there. But one thing I've also observed, among the citizenry, because while we are going to be looking at how President Buhari has fared in the 2 years that he's promised to kick out corruption before corruption destroys us, we would also be looking at how citizens can own this fight and even lead it. And in the course of my interactions with people, it seems that, people often think that it's not corruption unless it's an elected public official who is involved. And maybe because corruption is something that is usually used when you're talking about, public office for private gain and issues like that. What are some of the manifestations of corruption that, citizens, ordinary citizens, my grandmother in the village can look out for to be able to say, okay, yes, this person may not necessarily be the governor or the president, but this public official is engaging in corruption beyond the usual probably bribe taking and the likes?
Well, as I said, corruption is when you use entrusted power for private gain. You can be the managing director of a private company.
Okay.
People want to get employment, and you are asking them that, okay, they should give you, do you want favor in return? It may not be just money. It may even be sexual favor. So that is you have used entrusted power that was entrusted to you. You are using it for a private gain. So that is corruption. If you are a councillor, then they want to build a road in your community. And instead of looking for how the road will serve the greatest number of people in the community, you decided that the road should start from your gate and terminate probably at the main junction. That is corruption, because what you have done is that you have used the power, that power that was entrusted to you, to serve the people, to serve your private interests. So it is very clear and it is not ambiguous, because the essence of society is that because all of us cannot be in power, we elect people at various levels. Local government level, we elect even chiefs. What we have done at that point is that we have entrusted power, collective, we have handed our sovereignty to you. And you are supposed to in turn use that to serve the greatest good of the greatest number of members of the society. If at any point in time you turn around to use that power for your own personal gain, either by way of making policies that will favor you and your interests or your acolytes, that is corruption. Either by way of using resources that were supposed to provide goods and services, and you use it to further your own nest,